Let's get started about the ceremonies. So I missed my flight on the way there. And I was like, is this a sign? Am I not meant to do this? And I was like, Goddess, if I'm meant to do this, please make me finding another flight easy and harmonious if I'm meant to go. And if not, just block it. I'm listening. And I breed butterflies, and I just had one more butterfly left. And this butterfly was, I think, the world's longest living butterfly, over a month alive. This butterfly, she could never fly, actually. So I was hand feeding her sugar with my little sugar tube thing. And I was like, maybe God wants me to stay back with this butterfly, I was open, I was unattached. And ended up, they moved my flight, no additional charge. And that extra day actually really allowed me to sit in contemplation of like, why am I doing this? What really is my intention? Because my life was super, super busy, like especially that month before. I shot 2 music videos for Sexy Dark Night of the Soul, for Feminine is Rising. We had our embodiment launch. It was just crazy. So actually, I believe I manifested missing that flight to be like, slow down, come into right relation within yourself. I got there, and our first night is the ayahuasca ceremony. We sat with 3 members of the Huniquin tribe, which are an Amazonian tribe from Brazil. And it was actually their first time ever leaving Brazil to come to Peru. So straight out of the Amazon, dressed in their beautiful sacred garb with feathers and colors. And it was exactly the types, and the person who facilitated them, she had really met with many different curanderos, like medicine workers, medicine men and women, and she really resonated with their frequency. And especially, it was a small group of just 5 of us, and we were all like light workers, channels, mystics, shamans. So we really wanted to have people that had really clean energy so we could go deep and do our own inner work that rarely as healers you get to do, because you're always holding space for other people. So we get in, set up our altar. I set up a gorgeous flower altar, and it was time to sit with the medicine. And it just felt like, wow, here I am. And it's a process. If you've sat in ceremony before, ceremonies take many, many hours. There's, setting up the ceremonial space, clearing the space, even just preparing an altar took me many hours. And this is all part of the preparation. We can't just sit ceremony, like take a little DMT pen and get to the highlight and like, that's it. It's in no way the same. It's the preparation of the ceremony that makes the ceremony. It's like maybe just as important or more important than the ceremony is the preparation for it. Plus, I was on a dieta, so I was not eating, though I kind of already live like that, but you can't have like sugars or it was interesting because I was drinking coffee, but for the 2 weeks before, I just couldn't drink it. Like anytime I took a sip and I would make it, my body rejected it. So naturally the medicine was already working on me. So I rejected coffee. I was not eating red meat. And I was just really like preparing my body, purifying, drinking lots of coconut water and getting myself vibrationally ready. No alcohol, but I don't drink. So there is a process actually a month at least before that you're doing. I was doing a lot of breath work, and I was really curious because I do so much deep shadow work on myself, any kind of healing modality possible from, like past life regression to EMDR to hypno, like anything you name, I've done and I sit with and not just go do, but like live my life that way. So I was just so curious of like, what am I not seeing? Like I literally don't even know. And there was definitely a lot. And that was the beauty of the journey, right? You're like, I think I got to the bottom of it. They're like, here's a whole other mountain for you, baby. So, so we're doing the rituals, we're preparing for the ceremony, and we start with Hape, ceremonial sacred tobacco, which has been a huge ally for me for the past year and a half, something I really love working with, especially more last year. I don't really work with it or feel the need to work with it as much this year. But for me, the Hape instructed me to imagine I was dead. And it was like, just imagine you're dead. And Hape is very strong for me. It's almost like the levels of depth I go to are almost like actually psychedelic for me. I'll go into 2-hour portals with it. So I just imagined myself like underneath the dirt and just like completely loosening and surrendering my body as if I died. And that was actually preparing me for what was to come. So drank the medicine and it was in absolute silence. They're not playing any Icaros, which are their music. It was absolute silence and everyone was in silence. An hour passes, I still don't feel anything. And I'm just thinking, maybe this didn't work on me. Like maybe one cup wasn't enough. Like I don't feel anything right now. I'm kind of hearing people are like kind of making sounds. I'm like, I feel like they must be feeling something. I'm not. Then all of a sudden I hear these amazing melodies in my head, like the most insane melodies in my voice. I'm doing like these insane top lines on it. And it was like, oh, like things my voice could never do before, but I'm hearing in my head. I'm like, damn, if I don't voice memo this song right now, I'm going to lose it. So I really wanted to get up and get my phone and record the voice memo. The songs were getting more and more just like Grammy award-winning songs there, you know? But I was like, I can't like get up and get my phone to record a voice memo right now. It's going to like disturb the people. But they kept coming and they kept coming. And then I could feel like I started kind of entering into this different realm. And it showed me like the inside of a train. And you know, like the inside of a train, it's like a conductor, like everything is interconnected. It's like these different shapes. Like there's like that spiral thing, and that's connected to this long thing that moves back and forth like this, and that's connected to something else. And it's like it's like mechanics, like all parts of it are interconnected. And it showed me how one person triggers a dark night of the soul in you, and that creates your awakening to lead to you becoming who you're meant to become. And you will trigger a dark night of the soul in someone else. And that was also meant to be the awakening of who they're meant to become next. And it's really all beyond us and actually coming from somewhere way higher than us. The way that we trigger and trickle with each other is in a divine, perfect math. So I'm seeing the cause and effect of everything in the universe. Someone says one thing to you, the way it affects you and the way it affects them, and just how divinely timed and perfect it all is. And then they start playing the Icaros, and I'm seeing this force field that they are actually creating over us with beautiful sacred geometry. And it is like a math. And they could see, and I could now see the realm of where there were like little holes in it. And they would like play the music and the frequency to go into that hole and like really create this beautiful protective force field for us. So I'm seeing the ways that all of our energies are swirling in this space that we're creating. And the music in my mind is getting more and more like insanely beautiful, but it starts to tell me these uncomfortable truths about myself through music and rap. And it was like the most insane thing. So it freestyle rapped and sang to me for the next 5-6 hours, which is so interesting because everyone's experience is so different. And it's like, both my consciousness and the medicine together knew the way that it would like resonate with me the most was to make it like literally into a hip opera. So it was like, and it was funny. Like it was like, it would tell me the most uncomfortable truths about myself, but I would start laughing because I was like, damn, like you are right. And she had this like Black mama energy to her. And my great grandmother was Ethiopian and really had her frequency to it. And loving, but humbling, and just telling me. And really the big theme of that medicine journey for me was about loving my 11-year-old girl. And 11 years old was the year for me where I felt the fattest, the ugliest, the most awkward, the most unloved. It was a year where my parents were fighting a lot, and also a year where I had a huge crush on this boy and he never liked me back. And it was this like unrequited love. And the reason why I felt like he didn't like me back was because I was too fat and ugly and hairy and Middle Eastern and, you know, all of the things. And she really showed me that the only way you can really have someone love you fully, the love that you are desiring, is for you to love that 11-year-old girl. But if you're constantly telling that 11-year-old girl, you know, subconsciously, oh, you got to lose weight. Oh, you need to wax. Oh, you need to wear makeup. Oh, you need to wear this, dress like that, be like this, be like that. It's telling her that she's not loved as she is. And I was going through a conflict with my mom at the time because she comes from Iran and doesn't love the way that I present myself online sometimes, especially in my music videos. and it just comes from another culture and another time. And it was really challenging for me because I love my mom so much. We were like besties growing up. And it's like, I really want her to like side with me and love everything that I'm doing and like be my most supportive ally. And it's been this hard thing of I'm stepping into this new version of myself where I feel more liberated and free and expressed. But then to have her voice, like with her more old school beliefs on if you dress like that, people will think you'll never get married. That kind of thing. I'm like, it's not really the only goal in my life here, but okay, also been there, done that. It's not really all what it's panned out to be, you know? But anyways, so I was in this hard time with my mom of like, why doesn't she understand me? Why isn't she supportive of me? Like, I'm being my full expression, and she wants me to be this like prim little like country club, like Persian sweet wife with like no voice. And that's not who I am. And why can't she love me for who I am? And it was this really hard thing. But the medicine also really showed me, do you know who loved that 11-year-old girl? Who thought the world of her? Who dedicated her life to that girl? Your mother. And as much as you might not be seeing eye to eye right now, the love that you are desiring, that love that you are craving, that unconditional love is only the love of a mother.